Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about something a little different than what I've been doing lately. I'm going to deviate from my Taurus rising routine and talk about astrology and the transit with the Sun, with Sagittarius and Capricorn, and how it, I believe it relates to Thanksgiving time and Christmas time. We look at the Sun when it enters Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is that time. It seems like a period where people are more ebullient. They're very expansive. Sagittarius doesn't do things on a small or moderate scale. It's very grandiose. It's extravagant. Sagittarius, when the Sun enters Sagittarius, which I believe this year it's the 22nd of November, it's interesting that it seems maybe not precisely coincide, but it's very near the point where many people are going to begin doing their Christmas shopping. People, even the people that that maybe are doing a certain thing and have been set in their ways to some degree, become more philosophical. There's that need, even if the weather's a little bit cooler than usual, which, I mean, when it hits November 22nd or so, you're about a month from officially being in winter. So in a lot of places it is a little bit cooler at that time, of course, and people will come outside, and I think in certain ways can be outdoorsy. They start embarking on their Christmas shopping. A lot of people, those that celebrate Christmas, of course, and they get in this holiday spirit. People become very effervescent. They're vivacious, a lot of people, and they actually, you'll see people that are rejoicing and embracing the spirit, and they're showing a love for spending money on others. I believe, in as far as I go, I mean, when I was little, and I mean, I used to revel in Christmas mainly because of the gifts that I would receive, but I found out through progression of time and through maturation, of course, that, I mean, for me and a lot of people, I believe as they get older, they see that nothing surpasses or supersedes the gift of giving itself. And it's interesting, too, when we look at the Sun entering Sagittarius, is that this is off the holiday part, is that we see a lot of sports going on simultaneously. Now, I'm just talking about the United States, and other countries may or may not have a lot of sports going on, but I know in the U.S., I mean, we have pro basketball, college basketball, hockey, pro football, college football. People are really, it seems like you have so much going on at that time. In Sagittarius, the sign is related to sports and athletics, so it's not really that surprising to me that you have so much activity going on in the sports sphere at this time. Now, Thanksgiving is just shortly after when the Sun enters Sagittarius, and people become, I mean, Thanksgiving, people can start to become very benevolent. The fact that it's getting very close proximity to Christmas time, you'll see more people maybe offering like their food, like Thanksgiving food, or taking somebody off the street, maybe bringing them in their home, giving them Thanksgiving dinner. People just, it seems like there's just more of a collective happiness among people around that time, and it seems like it's very appropriate too, because it does coincide with when near the time when Thanksgiving is here. I mean, now the Sun enters Sagittarius a little bit before Thanksgiving, as far as this year goes, but I mean, there just seems to be something in the air that's a little bit more, it's more philanthropic, where people are more expansive, they're a little bit more optimistic. Even people that are very introverted will come outside just to go even to the store to start purchasing their gifts for Christmas time. And what's interesting too is, okay, we go in that period from when the Sun enters Sagittarius, which is, I believe, November 22nd this year, and when it enters Capricorn, which I don't know, honestly don't know the precise date. I'm sure it's around December 22nd this year for 2014. That people become more prudent and cautious and economical, and that's a lot of times when the Christmas shopping is consummated and it's completed. When people become more pragmatic, they might be getting ready for their resolutions for next year and devise with some kind of or they'll start their resolutions, and often they'll be very practical and pragmatic, which of course is connected with the sign Capricorn, being an earth sign. And it's just very interesting how it just seems to fit. And there's still, I mean, even with all the skeptics and cynics out there of astrology, it's just amazing how the evidence, in my opinion, of astrology is right out there. I mean, it's very obvious and blatant, but a lot of people still dismiss it, which they have their right to. It's their prerogative, of course. And I just find it to be very interesting that you have the way the seasons seem to work with the people that are with how it affects maybe others' temperaments or other people's actions strongly. Also, it's a time where, I mean, when the Sun enters Sagittarius, it seems like people kind of get out of the box and they're ready to start expanding and I guess you could say their horizons to some degree. And even the most set people, even people that have been consistently maybe following a certain routine or ritual or whatever you want to call it for so long, they get that, it seems like there's this spark or energy that kind of will even take some of those people, and there'll be a time for where maybe they're going to start maybe making some not transformative type change, because that's more along with Scorpio, but maybe doing something where they're even, like, say that a conservative person becomes a little bit more expansive and starts looking beyond what perhaps limitations that they may have set for themselves, and decides to say, okay, I'm going to branch out and try something new now. So just very interesting how it works out. People often, when you get that time when the Sun enters Sagittarius and we're getting close to the Thanksgiving period, and people start to have that spirit with Christmas just lingering around the corner, and you may see more people starting to give money to charity. You see the people with the Salvation Army. I don't know if this is in any other country. I know the U.S. has it, and they have their bell ringers. I see them all the time here, and people will be walking by and putting money into their little container they have, and just that's the way it seems to bring out that kind of behavior in people, which, I mean, obviously is very good. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for astrology and the Sun entering Sagittarius and entering Capricorn, and how it seems to coincide with the seasons rather well. I mean, I guess and accurately, I think. And people, just remember, I know not everybody celebrates Christmas and Thanksgiving, so I'm basically talking about, of course, people that do celebrate this, of course. And I know a lot of people in the United States celebrate it. I don't know. I'm sure there's people in other countries that celebrate it. I don't know, who and where and what percentage in the countries, but this is, obviously for people that celebrate, for the holidays. So is what this is pertaining to. So anyway, two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.